Okay, what is up, universe? I am Omi, and I guess this will be my first podcast slash talking about random stuff format thing I do. Um, Before I get started, you guys can follow me on Twitter. It's shadow_Omi. But yeah, you guys can just call me Omi. You guys can tweet me all types of probably questions you might have, topics I should talk about. And I guess that's it. Let's get into this first episode or whatever it is. So, I am a huge Red Dead Redemption fan. I played the first one. I liked it. I liked the story. I liked the gameplay. I liked all this type of stuff. It was a pretty fun game. And I guess on this first episode, I'm going to talk about Red Dead Redemption 2. And all the stuff that I know. I have this article pulled up right next to me so I can go along with it. And so I guess I'll start. Well, I know it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox One in October. I want to say 26th or 28th. I'm not sure. I'll go with 26th. That sounds more correct. And it's coming out on PS4 and Xbox, so PC guys, I'm sorry for you. But yeah, I saw the gameplay trailer. I really enjoyed that trailer. It was fun. I saw all types of environments and stuff. Saw the cool shooting thing. I saw the shooting more as a Max Payne 3 type shooting, because you guys remember you could carry two dual wield, or you can carry one, I want to say two-handed weapon like a rifle or shotgun. And then when I saw it in the trailer, I'm like, oh, he holds the shotgun in his hand like Max Payne would. And I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. So, yeah, and pretty much I saw those Ultimate Editions and the collector's box stuff, and I'm like, I don't buy my games like that shit, bruh. I do not pay $500, $600 for a freaking toy. I mean, if you're a huge fan, go ahead. But for me, I just find that stuff kind of ridiculous and boring. Because what am I going to do with a giant, I don't know what they're giving in this collector box. What am I going to do with a giant box that says Red Dead Redemption 2? Exactly. So when you think about it, I don't think it's something for me. Alright, I know that this game is a prequel to the first one. So we get to see, I guess, the height of the Van der Linde gang. The Van der Linde gang was... Because in the second... I guess... Oh, that's stupid. So in the first one, the first Red Dead, you find out the gang disbanded. And then most of them didn't talk to each other. And you don't know why or how. And I'm just looking through the article, and it's talking about... Okay, so you're going to play through the height of the Van der Linde gang, or when they were really big, and because in the gameplay trailer you guys saw them moving around, so I guess that game will end where Red Dead began, because I know you guys, I don't know about you guys, but I hated at the end of Red Dead 1, where John dies, and then you're stuck playing as his whack-ass son. And then Jack was like, it wasn't the same. It was kind of boring. But I'm like, oh, the ending was cool. But you were stuck with Jack. I'd rather have been stuck with John. But, oh well. And then, okay, so you bring in this guy, Arthur Morgan, who is, I guess, the main character of this whole game. I don't think there's any switching type, because they didn't mention that in the gameplay trailer. So I guess you're just stuck with this Arthur guy. And just looking at it, I'm like, okay, you're going to introduce this Arthur guy who's like the senior, like right under Dutch. And I'm like, oh, wow, that sounds cool. Only to find out, if Dutch died in the first one, so then where's this fool? Because in the trailer, you see like him and Dutch are like kind of best friends. It's either going to be, oh, Dutch kills him in the end, or it's going to be John kills him in the end, or he's going to help John and Abigail, like, run away from the gang, or all this type of shit. But anyway, I digress. Alright, so let's talk more about this Morgan guy. I mean, I noticed that he wears different clothes in the gameplay trailer, and I'm like, oh wow, that's pretty cool. So like we get to see him. How do I say this? You see him like in a jacket, and then you see him in his regular clothes. But I'm like, oh, so you could change his outfit. I hope it's like not like how GTA 5's outfit was. Oh, you could pick this shirt, this pants, because that felt kind of whack. I hope it's like outfits. Like you have the deadly assassin outfit, the Native American outfit, the and so on and so forth. Like those types. Those outfits were nice and unique. There weren't like 400 outfits, each individual thing. But I did notice like they might do what GTA 5 did, because they talked about the hat. Like social media blew up about this stupid hat. Like, oh, if someone shoots your hat off, it's off forever. You have to go back into where it fell, pick it up, and put it back on your head. I'm like, okay, but so I guess there's no such things as gonna be outfits, but I hope there is something like that. And yeah. So Dutch's gang. I saw a couple people in the gameplay trailer who were the younger versions of themselves. I saw Javier Escuela, Bill Williamson, and John Marston. And then in the gameplay you saw Abigail and what's his whack ass son's name? Jack. Abigail and Jack Marston. You saw those two, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna see, because I knew that if Dutch knew Jack, you're probably gonna see how Jack's like early life was, because he saw all the bad stuff the gang went through. And just looking at the stuff, they showed all types of things like this gang moves around, and then you're gonna know each one of the gang members. And I'm like, okay. Oh yeah, I saw the old dude. They call him Uncle. I don't know his real name, but he's not even his uncle. So I guess he leaves with John too, but I want to know how. So, I mean, it looked interesting. And then they say that the honor system's gonna come back, and I'm like, I could see that. This Morgan guy looks like he has a two-faced kind of dilemma. He could be really bad or he could be really good. And then they're showing like bring food and all this like hunting stuff back to the camp, and they'll increase morale and stuff. And I'm like, I hope it's not a chore like every 5 minutes. Bro, we're hungry, go get us like some deer. And I'm like, nah, bro, you ain't gonna make me do this type of shit. And I'm like, I am very excited, but I still want to make this stuff clear. And then another thing, all this multiplayer stuff, I don't play these. I like single player games, but I don't play these stuff for like heavy multiplayer. I don't even pay for PSN online. Like dude, I don't pay for this shit. It's like a waste of money. But I guess if you're like but if you're like a GTA 5 online type of person, you'll enjoy it. It's pretty cool, but I never play these single player games for online stuff. I find them whack. Like, they look pretty boring. What else? Okay, so I see in these pictures they're showing like these very discreet people. Like, I know Dutch, he was like the leader, and then I think he teaches John to read and all this shit, but I'm like, oh, okay, potato. But then this Bonnie, look, I know she's not Bonnie McFarlane, but she looks like Bonnie with the blonde hair. You guys know who I mean. She's like, I need to know I could trust you. And I'm like, okay, so is she Arthur's girl? Because I don't know, she looks kind of like there's something with Arthur and her, because you saw her and him in the barn, and then she tosses him a gun. They probably do a mission together. I don't know, she might be with Arthur, or she's like all by herself, because you saw, I think it was Bill trying to hit on her, and she like stabs his hand, and he's like, oh my god. I'm not impressed. Javier Escuela, he was whack. In the first one, I'm like, oh, he's some random Mexican. John goes there, he tries to trick him, and then John captures him, delivers him, I think, to the rebels. I'm not too sure, but like, you go to Javier Escuela, and then he dies. Oh wait, no, now I remember. It was Javier and what's his face, the colonel, and they were escaping, and then you kill both him and the colonel. That was pretty cool. Yeah, but these other members I don't know, because a lot of people are like, oh, that's Trevor, the dude with the blonde mustache. He's like, let's go redistribution on property. I'm like, nah, bro, that shit sound whack. Super whack. But pretty much, I think, I don't know if that's all there is to talk about. Oh, okay, John. Let's talk a little about John. So, we knew John as, okay, so, his dad was a drunk, his mom was a whore, his mom, I think, died with childbirth. Oh, no, he had a sister. No, he had a daughter who died. I don't know, it's been a long time since I played it, but yeah, he had a daughter who died. Maybe she dies in this, or she probably died at birth, and they don't talk about it. But then all this stuff with Jack, I'm like, is it going to be more focused on Jack seeing what all the stuff that John did, or is it going to be more on John, like, oh, he's that inexperienced dude in the gang, he's kind of scared, he wants to impress Dutch, and then there's Arthur, who's going to be like, yo, you got to calm down, my dude, it's just, I'm going to be helping you out and all that stuff, and I'm like, I can see it, but I'm not so sure. And then I have no idea. This game could be like the greatest game, but then all these people are hyping up God of War, and I'm like, come on, dude. God of War was okay, but I don't think it'll be as good as Red Dead. I saw the gameplay trailer. You saw those alligators. I'm like, whoa. You saw the swamps. They should have shown like how big the full map was, because when I saw that map, I was like, oh my god. I saw a fake map picture, and I'm like, oh, this could be the map. But when I saw that, I was like, oh my god. That looks like the hugest map ever. I think the biggest maps so far in games are like, there's GTA 5, there's Fallout 4, there's I don't think Skyrim's that big. Just Cause is a pretty big map, but that game's pretty ass. You guys know my take on it if you go to my Twitter. Shameless plug. This is oh yeah, and they state this article, because I had the article pulled up. The article states it takes 12 years before the original Red Dead Redemption 2. So I'm pretty confused, because 12 years before this, they said because it stated John, they shot him and left him for dead. Or no, he was shot and then left for dead after a bank robbery. So either that's going to be taking place in the middle, the end, I'm not so sure, but the way I see it, I'm like, whoa, 12 years, in those 12 years, what happens? Because I have no idea how old Jack was at the end of Red Dead Redemption. So after, when John got shot, I think Jack was like 15, 16, because then he comes back, and Abigail dies like shortly right after John, and I'm like, oh, that sucks for Jack. But I see it, and I'm like, oh, it could be a good or a bad thing, depending on who you are, because it's 12 years before the original Red Dead, so there might be so the things I want to know are, A, how did Uncle become part of their family? B, how does Morgan tie into the story? C, how big John is part of the gang? Because the way it's implied is, oh, he was like kind of like Dutch's bitch. Oh yeah, I want to know more about Abigail, because Abigail and John get together, and then I know that Dutch says she was like the camp whore, and then he married her, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of awkward. And then I saw a Native American guy, and I'm like, yes, we need more diversity. I saw a black guy too, and I'm like, yes, more diversity in these games, because I'm like, yo, if they're all white cowboys shooting up town, I'm like, nah, bruh, this shit kind of sounds whack. I think they stated one of the cowboys, one of the black guys, where his name is Sammy or something. I mean, it was pretty cool, but I'm like, each character better have depth, because damn well no one in GTA 5 had deep character progression, or what do you call it, deep character development. Because each character was like, oh, this is Franklin, this is him, this is that, and then that's it. But with these characters like John, maybe Dutch, even this Arthur guy, I'm like, oh, he doesn't look very impressive. And then I remember they were showing some weird ass pictures, like there was this dude shooting up. They were holding up a bank, and you see this weird looking dude, not a bank, a train, and I'm like, whoa, because it looked kind of story-esque, but it also looked fake. And then it was revealed that gameplay was on PS4 Pro. I have a base PS4, and most of my games look alright, but you know that thing like starts firing up like a jet engine anytime I play like one of those graphic heavy games. And then what else? Oh yeah, that Jimmy Brooks guy. So he was hanging off like an edge, and you see Arthur come up to him, and he's like, "Should I have killed you, Jimmy Brooks?" And I'm like, oh, dialogue was kind of cringy, but it was cool. So I'm like, oh, I could deal with that. All the gun stuff looked pretty good. I'm still not so sure about this hand-to-hand combat stuff, because Red Dead 2's hand-in-hand was like pretty bad. I mean, like he would square up and then he just like throw punches at the air. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't like this is a great combat system. The way I saw it here, it looked alright, but I wasn't like, oh my god, this could be one of the greatest combat systems ever. It's like Streets of Rage combat, but you know what I mean, like not that bad, but it, yeah, you know. So what else? There's I don't see anything else. How long have I been going for? Been going for like 16 minutes. I mean, what else can I talk about? Stuff I want to see. Okay, so this game is, I want to say, everyone's most hyped game. It was supposed to come out in what do you call it, in spring of 2018. But I guess it's coming out now. But from what I've seen, I want to see a lot of cool stuff from this game, such as, let's see, I gotta think carefully, because I don't want to just be yapping out dumb shit and you guys clown me in the comments. Maybe I'll just pull up this list. There's this list that says 10 wishes I want to see and we're hoping for to see in Red Dead Redemption 2. Let me pull it up. I'll just go through this list and see what they say. Alright, number 1, better shooting. So, I mean, I thought GTA 5 shooting was alright. It wasn't bad. The auto aim was okay. The free game was okay too. And then, just because it's kind of based on Max Payne 3's gameplay, and I loved Max Payne 3. It was like seamless cutscenes. The gameplay and the shooting was awesome, and the controlling was awesome. So yeah, I would say, and the way I saw it in the gameplay, you already saw it. He switches he was like shooting with one hand, and you see like the shotgun in his hand, like how they did it in Max Payne. Because in GTA 5 you could pick up like every weapon, and then out of nowhere he could pull out a MP out of his hat, and I'm like, oh, this is some dumb shit. But it was easier to have access to all your weapons. And then in the gameplay they showed that you carry your weapons on your horse. You have to keep a bond with him, and I'm like, wow, that's gonna be so much fun. It's gonna look so cool. Alright, what else? Better quick draw duels. I mean, yeah, I could see why. The duels were pretty ass, because I don't know about you guys, but I sucked at those quick draw duels. Like, someone would come up to you like, I don't like your face, boy. Pooh, and they spit on the floor, and they're like, I want to fight you. So you make a duel, you go across the street, you're like 5 to 15 feet apart, you have your gun ready, and those controls were so ass. I'm sorry, but if you liked them, that's on you, but they were so ass. I hated it. I'm like, bruh, come on, we need better quick draw duels. I just want to make it cool and very fast paced, like one of those, what do you call those, Mexican standoffs. They look pretty cool. Alright, let me go next. Open-ended gameplay. Um, I mean, yeah, I would want my games to go more open based, because if the story is very linear and you're on just one path throughout the end, I'm gonna end up hating it, because the point of the game was that these guys went around robbing places, killing people, and stealing goods and stuff. And I was very impressed by the way I saw that stuff, and I'm like, wow, it could be way cooler if they showed it in the game. What else? Yeah, like I said, more clothing options. Please do the outfits. Don't do the shitty ass clothing from GTA 5. And oh yeah, I hope there's Undead Nightmare, because I kind of enjoyed it, but there was some gripes I had, like the zombies were kind of stupid. Maybe if they had diversity, like, you guys know, like in Doom, they had the fat bloater type of monster, they had the really fast ones, they had the slow zombie type ones, probably like that, those type of zombies, if they ever did Undead Nightmare. But what else? Safe houses. Okay, so in the first Red Dead, I remember going into a barn, you paid like $5 and you could sleep on their floor, and I'm like, this isn't what I meant by safe house. And then you ended up going to, I think it was a town up in like northeast of the map. You go into like a town, Thieves Landing. I remember this. You go into Thieves Landing, and like this kind of room, it's like $50. You buy it, and then you have that room. You can change your clothes and all this stuff. And I'm like, I mean, if this is what they mean by owning property, I hope there's more that they do in Red Dead 2. But it kind of looked like it was ass. Okay, next one. More awesome sound design. I mean, by the gameplay trailer, I really liked the sound design they showed, because I remember he shot a gun. And I like that they had realistic loading, but he shot the gun. You see the birds flying away. You can hear them. You can hear all the aesthetics around. All this cool stuff I saw, and I'm like, wow. This is going to be a really great game. Next. Apply lessons learned from GTA Online to multiplayer. Hell no. Leave that shit alone. I don't want anything to disrupt my single player campaign. If I have to go into it and it's like, oh, buy like a Buffalo Shark card and you can buy so much more stuff for your character. No. Leave it in the game, please. I just don't want any DLC like that ruins my game. Improve side quests. There were cool side quests. Like, I remember like 3 very distinctive ones. I don't know why. There was one where you meet up the girl from the train, Jenny, and you give her some medicine and you walk away. I mean, it's not memorable, but that mission, like, I don't know, it stood out to me for a second. I don't know, she's like, I believe God sent you to give me this medicine. I'm like, okay, I guess. And then, what else do I remember? I keep remembering this one from Undead Nightmare. There was this weird guy who was like, can you lasso a zombie and bring him to me? You bring it, and then he ends up killing the dude. He was with the camera. That was pretty funny. What else were some good? Oh yeah, this dude's like, can you collect a ton of flowers? You go back, and then he gives the flowers to his dead wife. I'm like, oh. I mean, if they copy those side quests from like some games, like, I don't know if you guys played The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was one of the best games I've ever played. I played it once, but if you go to my Twitter, I'll replay it once, and I'll try to do everything, and then I'll do my review on The Witcher 3 on my Twitter. Shameless plug again, but go follow me on Twitter, and then you'll see my Witcher 3. I'll probably post either A, picture, or B, maybe a video or something about The Witcher. But yeah, because I saw The Witcher, what do you call it? I have the complete edition. I bought it on the PSN store for like $15-20. It was on sale, and I'm like, wow, this is the greatest game in the universe. My friend hooked me up with it. He said it's one of the greatest games, and I'm like, I thought it was going to be shit, but when I played it, it was one of the greatest games ever. But where was I? Oh my god, I lost my train of thought. Where was I? Side quest, yeah. So yeah, I want to see some nice, cool side quests. Make each character kind of relevant. Bring like maybe a Judge side quest, a Bill Williamson side quest, a Javier Escuela side quest. Like, maybe not loyalty missions from Mass Effect, but like, kind of like get to know your camp even better. So you guys can be like even more close as friends. Alright, what's next? Multiple playable characters. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. They already said in the gameplay you're stuck as Arthur, and I mean, I'm fine with that if they make this guy cool, but I hope they do what they did in the last one. So in the end, Arthur dies, but then you play as John for the rest of the game. I feel it would be like a good send off, like how they did in the last one. That's pretty cool. Cameos from real life outlaws. I mean, I guess if you could bring in like notable outlaws that I don't know of, because I don't know any like real life outlaws, but if you could bring like cool ones that were like pretty historical, like how they do in Assassin's Creed, but not that stupid shit like, oh my god, you met George Washington, you're the reason they won Bunker Hill. Like, that was some stupid shit, but you know what I mean. As good as the best film westerns. Yeah, I hope it's like good western films. Like, I've seen, I think 2 or 3. I can't remember which one. I remember I think maybe 1 or 2. I can't remember which western I watched. It was one with Chris Pratt, Denzel Washington, maybe The Hateful Eight. No, The Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven. I saw that film, and I liked the Wild West aspect of it. And then I watched 100 Ways to Die in the West, or 1,000 Ways. I can't remember. But that movie, and then you see like the cool stuff like, man, the Wild West can kill you in so many ways, and I'm like, whoa, bring that to Red Dead and show me how, and I'll be impressed. And then their last thing says, oh yeah, that was, I guess the list ended, but pretty much, yeah, I think I'm gonna label this episode Red Dead Redemption, about all the stuff I talked about. Leave a comment on my thing, or however this app works. Leave a comment and then tell me if there's something you want me to talk about here, or you could just let me try that again. Leave a comment here if there is a way to, because I don't know, I don't use this app. My friend told me about using it. So leave a comment here, or just go to my Twitter, follow me there, and then ask me some questions, and then I'll respond to it, or just give me a topic on my Twitter, and then I'll go there and I'll probably respond to anything you guys want me to say. Either I do multiple topics, or I just do one topic that's really long. But yeah, I'll pretty much be using this to talk about every other topic I'm excited for, or anything that I want to talk about. So, oh, and if you come from Twitter here, and it's the first time you're hearing my voice, yeah, I'm not I don't know who told me, but I remember I showed a friend my Twitter, right? They thought I was some 10-year-old kid. No, I'm not some 10-year-old kid. But pretty much that's going to be the end of the podcast, or the end of this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys in the next episode / podcast. All right, bye.
The podcast you just heard was published with Anchor. Got something you want to say to the creator of this show? Send them a voice message using the Anchor app, free for iOS and Android.